Angkor Wat, Cambodia's most visited tourist destination, is a spectacular complex of temples whose breathtaking beauty is matched by an even deeper history. Archaeologists are still trying to figure out what happened to it. The size of Angkor Wat demonstrates how magnificent this ancient monument is. These magnificent ruins encompass an area of almost 248 square miles. Tourists, on the other hand, frequently overlook this crucial fact. As a result, many people only see a few of the most famous temples and lose out on seeing the rest of the complex. Originally, a defensive wall encompassed the temples, city, and palace, but it unfortunately disintegrated with time. But when exactly was Angkor Wat created in the first place? Archaeologists have developed a vivid understanding of how Angkor Wat was constructed. Between 1113 and 1150 AD, the world's biggest religious monument was constructed, and the measures used to fulfill this magnificent goal are mind-boggling to say the least. Over 5 million tons of sandstone were utilized, which were shaped into Khmer bricks and cemented together instead of mortar with a vegetable mix. What was even more astounding about this architectural masterpiece was what wasn't used to construct it. Because it was created in the 12th century, the Khmer people of the period had few resources and had to rely heavily on physical labor. This civilization just lacked the equipment that modern builders are accustomed to. Over 300,000 laborers and 1,000 elephants are thought to have contributed to the spectacular complex's completion over the period of 35 years. But what was the purpose of the place during its prime as a civilization? Angkor Wat has always had a strong spiritual element for the people who lived in and around it, despite the fact that its function has varied through time. The site was commissioned by Khmer King Suryavarman II to serve as his official state temple. It began life as a Hindu temple where devotees worshipped the deity Vishnu. However, the king was revered as a near-holy character, and it became his tomb after his death. This isn't the end of the transformations. Angkor Wat was unique in that it was a sacred place dedicated to the Hindu god Vishnu. Previously, temples were largely constructed to honor another god, Shiva. Surprisingly, the temple devoted to Vishnu is the only one on the complex that has been intact and is a revered site to this day. Angkor Wat's ideology shifted from Hinduism to Buddhism at the end of the 13th century. It is now considered one of Buddhism's holiest locations. The temple, on the other hand, has certain peculiarities. For many years, researchers have been baffled by several unique characteristics regarding Angkor Wat. The structure, for example, faces west, which is a Hindu symbol for death. Archaeologists and historians have been split on how to explain this unexpected turn in orientation. Vishnu is revered as the supreme godhead, according to popular belief. As all other temples face east in the direction of their master, it makes sense for Vishnu to face west. The narrative nature of Angkor Wat is one of the things that makes it so interesting. The complex has sculpted reliefs depicting 8 of Hinduism's most famous myths, including the churning of the ocean of milk, which depicts the creation of time. Another intriguing feature of these reliefs is that they read backwards, indicating that the temple was originally intended for funerals. It's not simply the complexes inside that's a sight to behold. When you take a look at Angkor Wat from above, you can realize exactly how detailed the pattern is. The temple is protected from strangers by a wall that divides it from the surrounding moat. A main sanctuary, 3 galleries, and 5 towers make up the complex. These towers represent the 5 peaks that surround Mount Meru, the Hindu and Buddhist gods' home. The complex, on the other hand, is designed to symbolize something different. Not only is Angkor Wat's construction meant to represent Mount Meru, but it's also meant to resemble an axis mundi. This indicates that the monarch and the builders wanted the temple to serve as a bridge between the physical and spiritual realms, similar to a portal to heaven. According to Suryavarman II, this meant that visitors would regard Angkor Wat as the center of the universe. As a consequence, the designers injected a dash of pure inventiveness into the design. A mandala is a visual depiction of the universe in Hinduism and Buddhism. One of the main criteria of many Eastern temples of worship is that they must be built in the same manner that a mandala is designed to be in harmony with the universe. As a result, Angkor Wat aligns perfectly with the planets. Visitors thought that if the temple was cosmically connected, it would serve as the hub of everything important to the civilization, including religion, politics, and astronomy. Angkor Wat's reputation as a sacred site seems to be growing, and despite the fact that restrictions for visitation control are being implemented, nothing seems to be stopping the steady growth in visitors who want to visit this enchanting portion of the earth. Angkor Wat is unlike any other temple in the world.